Hi, everybody. Good to see my beautiful ladies again. I miss you. Can't wait to get back home, but I'm enjoying myself over here in Vero, taking care of my granddaughter.
There you go.
She's exhausting me every day, so I'm sleeping well at night. We're having a great time.
It's the beauty of the crone when you enter into that energy and get to have those magical children around you without having to birth them. It's a wonderful time. Grandchildren are amazing. They really are. And when you're done, you can give them back.
That's it. I'll be back on Sunday because I'm gonna need to sleep on Saturday.
Yeah,
All right, go for it, Joyce. What?
Where are you going back Sunday?
I'm going home to you on Sunday.
Oh, I had no idea.
I'm gonna need to sleep on Saturday and then come home on Sunday because that's a long trip.
Yeah, I'm tracking now. Well, happy Cinco de Mayo.
55222.
So does anybody ever celebrate this holiday?
Not
Anybody
at
know
all.
what the holiday is all about? I don't.
I don't. We should look it up.
So
But happy
happy
one anyway.
I am in my new office. There's my one of my alter egos, my bionic woman that I have to fix her up, but I'm in the new office and things are great. And Tracy just came over and we are trying to figure out YouTube, you guys. I'm sorry, it's not synced up and I'm having technical difficulties as I stated last time.
According to the Google God,
There we go.
GAWD, Global Awareness Wireless Device, which obviously we are going to be talking about today, and I'll be sharing what that means. Cinco de Mayo is a yearly celebration held on May 5th, which commemorates the anniversary of Mexico's victory over the French Empire at the Battle of Puebla in 1862,
Okay.
led by General Ignacio Zaragoza, according to Wikipedia. Now, how many of us really knew that, and how many of us are actually celebrating that today?
I don't think many. They just like to party. Give us a reason to party and run.
History. That's what he says. But according to her story, she says, find a margarita, a couple of tacos, a burrito, love
And
your
some-
children.
I want some guac.
Good guacamole. Yeah, that was Cinco de Mayo, was a celebration of learning about Mexican culture and including it into your life because it's great fun and they're amazing people. So it was about, it was never, I didn't know anything about this. I wasn't celebrating some battle somewhere.
No, I just remember the party.
I was celebrating that another culture wanted to embrace me and bring me in and love me enough to teach me about their traditions and their children and their home and what, you know what I mean? Like, so celebrate that today when you go out. At least I think. But
Be careful driving.
and there we go on that.
Oh, you know what? And I'm supposed to take my mom out to dinner tonight, so I am gonna be out in that craziness. So yeah, I was a good girl. I wasn't gonna call her, but I did. Sorry, I'm not gonna tell you the history.
That's lovely,
Well, we have
Joyce.
history, but I did call her. I said I'm gonna take her out for Mother's Day, and she leaves Saturday to go back to Chi-Town. So I have to figure out where I'm gonna take her. Probably any steakhouse. It's really great, and I'll go get some escargot.
Ooh, yum, I love it.
I know you do.
love 'em.
So what else, guys? What's happening? Anybody want to talk about world events, anything? I've been really working hard. So I don't know much, so I have to catch up.
Me too. And
Anything?
I-
Denise is good. She always has got her finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Well, Tracy was nice enough to send that video on the XPPQFS stuff that was amazing to watch, which she put a link down there so people can get a little upgrade on what's going on. So I did my work and I wrote my notes and stuff. And it sounds pretty cool if everybody could wrap their heads around it. I'm not the one to tell you about it, so I'd like to, we'll put the link up or whatever, the one that she sent us the other day. It's very fascinating to learn that these new phones that we're supposed to get from the beings, the higher beings, are gonna really work on our auras and our frequencies and really connect with us to know what we're up to. And
harmfully, but positively. What a great
right,
choice.
positively. You know,
Right.
if you have a great aura, they're going to be able to let you do what you want to do and help you do that, you know. But it was just fascinating to start looking into all of that and
Okay,
seeing how it works.
I haven't watched that yet. So very cool. And what about you, Miss Tracy? What's your input on that?
My input is, I try not to swing like a pendulum. I try to be more, after hanging out with Michael Jaco, and his Libra sign, being a Sagittarius, I've learned the
You
value.
a Libra?
Is Libra.
Oh, that tells
And
me.
air, fire, which is on a fire sign, needs amazing air. So that's why we're amazing together. But you hold the scale from the center point so that you don't do duality. Because I
Mhm.
learned that there's a trinality if you're looking from a different perspective. To me, government is duality and church is trinality, but they separated church and state, remember that? And then this whole crazy weird thing. You know, you have to learn the way that you learn, you guys. There's not a right way to learn and a wrong way to learn. They
Just what
started
is.
giving children all these things, ADD, AB, whatever, you know, OC, whatever, all of that. I probably got labeled a whole lot of them. I gave them back because I just learned a different way. I learned like a kid. I learned with cards. I learned with reading, but like not rock training over and over and over. I read like scripture, and then it like comes alive in my mind. Like I see
Use your
different.
imagination.
Well, I just have
Or
the
pull it
gifts
in.
of the Holy Spirit. I didn't settle for those gifts that the government gave, like remote viewing or anything. I think a remote viewer would be way more powerful if they say, I have the gift of sight. That's a gift of the Holy Spirit, because then I can identify the God you're working for. Global Awareness
I like
Wireless
that.
Device God
I like that.
uses remote viewing. He cannot use the gifts of the true Holy Spirit, which are the gift of sight. He can't, he doesn't have that. So they had to call it remote viewing. Because we were shown that that evil can only cannot create equal to God, never above God, only below. So anything created that's not, you'll know it through discernment. But that's another thing you have to, you know, download. It's an app. You download it in your heart and your mind, you link them, and then you learn. That's how it works.
I love it. So pick your card.
So let's pick a card for the vibration of the day. Everybody, we're gonna pick one card for all of us, all of you that are here.
I really feel bad because I was holding the price high and I told so many people, but I let it go. I'm like sick of looking at
Okay,
it.
so everybody, for 1 second, everybody just like, okay, put your energy right. And well, it's just love, you know what I mean? We're not
I
doing
just
anything,
send it
it's so
to my
fun.
fingertips.
God loves seeing
Ah,
children having fun and playing.
Yes.
We don't do that anymore. We're all so serious. We gotta have all
Exactly.
serious, like it's supposed to be right. Okay. I
well,
don't
except
even
for the three of us when we get together.
Yeah, before I do, what is
The
it?
Raven.
Oh, it's not the Raven. It's number
No.
42.
Okay.
It's the bat. Let's see what the
Oh.
bat has to
Whose
say.
card is that? That Denise's?
No, it's just all of us.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, just
42 bat. And upside
And-
down, right?
Yeah, so in this card and book, they have a contraindicated. If the card is upside down, come to you that way. It's a different message, not good or bad. And this way is just right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sacred bat flew to me from the darkness of the cave. Womb-like reflections, answers it gave. Birth, death, rebirth, cycles of the whole, never ending, just eclipsed. The journey of the soul.
Nice.
That's a great card.
That's awesome.
I
That's a
just
great-
got chill bumps.
that's all
We're
we're
all on
gonna
that journey.
Yeah, we're just gonna go there with it, you
Yeah.
know? Cause you know, people would go, oh, the bat's bad. And good. No, it's not. Remember I
it's an
told you,
animal.
if you come from the point of the center and you just hold the scale and you put the bat there in the middle, and then you look at the people that say the bat's bad and the bat's good. And then some people go, Batman's good, but some people go, but the bat's bad. So, you know, you see, we don't have, that's going lower then. That's not rising and bringing unity together of anything that's trying to find reasons to be separate.
Yeah.
And we're not. What's holding Joyce and I together right here is the empty space between us. It's pushing us so I can appear here and she can appear there and we can appear separate, but we're not. So, and that's really deep stuff too. But
That was good though. I love it.
see, she was designed to drive the motorcycle and I was designed to ride on the back.
That's
So
another thing I gotta do.
there we go. Okay, moving on. That was fun.
That was
There
very
you go.
fun.
Let us know what you think about the cards. No, we're not changing them, only animals, this one, just this one. We're not card readers, we're just.
Well, you know,
great
and
friends that are.
I have been kind of going down the path of, you know, all the frequencies, and since I do
Yeah.
frequencies in my business, you know, shifting, understanding energy, stagnant energy within the mind, body, and spirit. So I had this in I think my bedroom, the other one was in my living room, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, live in my office, and I have a lot of stuff plugged in. And I got this from Ascension Organites, Carla, and there's my blue one. I was so drawn, and now she came up with a purple one, and I gotta buy that one for my bedroom because my bedroom is purple and it's my favorite color. However, it just makes me really feel good, and they're big, it's really heavy, and they're really high quality. So I'm going to give Carla some props that now they found their home in the right space to protect me from all the EMFs and all the craziness that I'm bombarded with, because it shows up on my sessions for sure. So I have to constantly clear my own energy field, as well as with Qigong. You know, you can do Qigong, and maybe with this video, I will dump for free my 6 moves, and you do them 3 times, 6, 9, or 12. And as long as you learn them, you can have them. And I highly suggest everybody does their Qigong face east. If you can, outside into the sunlight. Denise's, I've known about it, don't do it. Sun gazing in the morning is really healthy.
Did it?
Denise, you might want to share a little bit of what you know. It's not my forte, but it feels good, and I can look in the morning because it's not as bright, or else you can't. I can't.
Well,
look.
now you all know why I do sunrises because that's the best time to sun gaze.
Yeah.
And the aura that the sun gives off, you can see the frequencies going around the outer part of the sun.
Especially when you're
it's
doing that
really
work,
amazing.
right? Right.
Yeah, and you watch that go around and around, and you know, it helps download stuff into your consciousness, and really, that's why I go out every morning and I do the same thing, and I just stand there and I, you know, give off my
does. I
stuff and I
witnessed
take
it.
it all in at the same time, and I take some pretty good pictures too. How do you
The
enjoy them?
photos are amazing. You know, they really are amazing. So, you know, I look at them like it's angelic, and that is you. But you pull that out. I believe it's her intention. She sets an intention and goes out and does that. And she's also teaching me about writing the opposite hand you really write with. I get frustrated, so I
Wax on,
wax off.
wax off.
So I decided I'm gonna start doing the alphabet like
But it's
every
really
morning.
like
Just
that
do
with the
A,
same hand.
B to start, because I can't really do.
Both
It
hands.
really just lets that side, the opposite side of your brain from the hand that you're to start working better and taking more things in. Exactly. That
Right.
yin and yang and that DNA and all that stuff working together. It's just a
Infinity,
beautiful thing.
infinity.
Infinity. Absolutely. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
yeah, if you practice it every day, it makes you better.
Let's add a little bit about what I know about sun gazing, because the way these things are usable for people is that you'll hear, oh, sun gazing, what's that? And then you listen to each of our experience of what it is, because there is no wrong way of doing it. She's 1 grain of sand on the ocean. I'm 1 grain, that, you know, Denise is 1 grain over there. And from the point of where we are, we have the experience of something called sun gazing. There's not a correct way or an incorrect way. Remember, we're not in duality anymore. There's the way that you do it and that you experience it. And then you have your experience, you go out to have your experience, and then you come back with the experience you had, and then you have to share it because that's how it works when it's turned
Love it.
on. Yeah.
Mhm.
But for me, the sun gazing, like what the information I found on it, Michael and I did it, and it said that if you did it 365 hours, that it would complete the cycle and then you would not have to do it again. So I like a goal, so I did it for the 365 hours. It had to be done over time. And then when I did it, it was done.
Wow.
What I realized I was training my eyes to do was to see light code in a way I wasn't
Then-
seeing it before when it was dancing on the water. I have videos of it now. And I go, before you would go, oh, look, it's just, light on the water. But really, when you see it, when your eyes change, because there is a change that happens, because it's a mystical, spiritual change, because you did the work. So in doing, seeking, asking how, the chain goes, there is a finding, you find it. There is
I love it.
it comes
Mhm.
back. The concentric, you drop the stone, hits the end, it comes back. So that should happen. So it led me to be able to see the flowers as code, because the light started hitting them different and I didn't see it the same way anymore. And then everything, it was a little weird for a little while, because then you really start to go, you're in the matrix. And if you don't have control of your mind, which is what this battle truly is about, the control of your mind. And you have to learn how to let go of everything that is and still be okay.
Yep.
That's like the ultimate test. Everything has to departiculate around you as it reparticulates in front of you. So, I mean, if you think about it, you're always walking away from things you're leaving behind, That's why you really kind of do need to know what's behind you. You have to have a 360-degree, perspective of yourself, which we don't have. We have more of that of someone else because we're busybodies out there. We're supposed to be in here.
Forward.
Yeah, in here.
Looking in the mirror, well, how do we
In
look?
here,
Right.
until you
Not
have reactivated all that. And I remember my mom telling people in a story about when she would comb our hair, because there were 5 of us good little Catholic kids, and we only had one brother. So, there were 4 girls every morning to get their hair in braids. But she told me about a dream she had, and she would be parting my hair to make it into a ponytail, and there would be eyes. And she would part it again to make another one. There would be eyes in my head, which back then was really weird, and I could see where that would freak her out. But later on in life, the foreknowledge I would learn just through that one artist, Alex, what's his name? How he sees just the energy body, all it was letting her know was like, your daughter's an oracle. You're
Special.
yeah, not special at all, because we all have different
Well,
things.
special, that's her speciality,
What was kind of maybe telling her, help her to nurture her in those ways. It was a good thing I
Right.
had a grandmother, because my mom's generation, those women got taken and they had to become like Jacqueline Onassis, Good Housekeeping seal of
Yeah.
approval, bring home the bacon fried up in a pan. All the kids had to be perfect, and the
Mhm.
family photos and, all of that.
Yeah.
That was her generation,
Right.
So I had a grandmother that let us play in the dirt and put rocks in our mouth, Got a great balance. I learned trees and things like that, and be down there laying on the ground looking at ants. I knew not to stick my finger in them, but I could look and learn a lot from watching them. You know what I mean? So anyway,
Cool.
wherever that led us.
That led me to being Nana and letting my daughter eat, suck on rocks, but not eat
When
them.
I entered into my crone-ship, which I love that, I was titled Nanita, which means little grandmother, because of my background, my mother's Hispanic, Spanish, and my father's German. So we were really more cultivated because my father left his family in Illinois and came to where my mother's family was in New Mexico. And that's where they met when he was in college. And then from there, they went to Barstow and, terraformed a whole little, well, we'll talk about that later. Those little towns that the alphabet government created to mess with our minds, which again is what we were talking about. This battle being a battle for your mind, your thoughts, what the eye sees and the ear hears, the mind believes it. And if the mind believes it and takes it to heart, then we have a generator that turned on, everything comes into motion, and creation just starts happening right before your very eyes out of nothing. So when you learn how to do that, you learn how to create better, and you learn how to see things that are coming in the way and get out of them, because
Right.
everybody has the ability to create in this reality field. That's the scary thing about it.
Right.
But gravitating toward the people that are like us and like-minded
Yeah.
as we are, and support one another's work, even though it's not my work, but I'm like, yeah, I'd like that in the new community, please. That's how we're coalescing and coming together. So
And we have another birth coming into our new home. There's 4 more new duck eggs
I knew it.
in the hole. You were right. That duck was going to seek out. And
I knew it.
saw
I knew
her.
it.
Exactly. She laid 4 eggs. And now they're covered up. So she must be playing, or I don't know where she's at, but she comes back at night. So I'm waiting for when I see the eggs to be.
Ooh, wait till Sunday,
empty.
please. Wait till Sunday, please.
Yeah, and it's rained so much here. I thought it
I
would
love
fill up
these
the
stuff.
pond. About the pond, but like the pond, the fountain hasn't been on because there's no water. So I don't understand that. However, we got a lot of rain, which made all that debris start moving. Yeah, so the pond looks
And
really
well, the
good.
whole thing is the ground needs the water before that lake needs the water, and it's not gonna fill up until the ground is over watered.
And
So
it's
the grass
not
should look
overwatered,
greener
but it
and
looks
everything
good.
else.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that little duck came up every morning and looked at me and was like, okay, lady, you cool to lay some eggs in front of your house? She'd walk within 3 feet of me. She was so cool. But I'm like, wait a minute, she's checking out that nest. So I'm so
Yeah,
glad.
yeah. I saw
Must
her
be giving
leaving,
us
like,
some
I'm
good
like,
vibes.
"Ooh, she left the nest," and I went out that night and I said, "Ooh, she covered it up." Like she kept them
put her-
warm, I guess, like her body's not there until she comes back and sits back on them to hatch them, I guess.
That's a
It's
beautiful thing.
interesting. I should put it on the calendar to see how many days. This will be number 2. Anyways, anything else, ladies, today?
yeah, no, I want to talk a little
Oh,
bit.
there she goes.
How long?
I
have we
wanted
been
to,
filming.
Doesn't
can I just
matter.
say, I found the YouTube that you can go to that I was talking about earlier about the Nisara Jasara, and just to get yourselves up on it.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is a really good one that she sent me.
First of
So
all,
it's what XPPQFS team,
Wait, XPP.
XPPQFSTEAM #1 on YouTube. So we want to look that up. There's a really, they've been doing this for a long time, and
Tracy
they're the
said
ones that are
on
being
that.
told what's going on.
Okay.
And, there's a lot of people out there that are going, well, no, I don't know. It's going to be, at least this gives you a little bit of, new words to look at, new, reasons
Well,
why
I saw
this is gonna work
something
out,
and
that
it
the
said,
government's not going to have control.
no, in Bitcoin, it doesn't match with the new QFS system. That's what I'm just saying. I just saw that. It was a headline. I didn't read it. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
We'll see.
the law about a war of disinformation is very important to go along with that.
well, here's something, because you got
Discernment is everything.
Yeah.
You have to realize part of the script book that they're using to play the game here is scripture.
Mhm.
Okay, so they could never remove anything from scripture. They could only add to it. We have to remember that.
Right.
So discernment lets you be able to hear that language. And then you have to understand, as we talked about, those 2 gods, God, goodness over darkness, generator, operator, destroyer. I don't know. Give it an acronym for me, you guys. I say goodness over darkness.
I like that.
When I
God.
activate God for myself, I'm the one that has the ultimate outcome of, am I gonna resolve this with goodness over darkness, or am I looking at goodness over darkness? Things have to match up, but you have to understand, you have to discern God's language. So I clearly discern goodness over darkness, or generator, operator, destroyer, if I'm playing God. If I create something, I generate it. I operate it for a while, see if if it works for everyone. If it starts not working for everyone, I have to shut it down. That's how creation works. If it's not good for everyone, for the all, that's not a creation that's
Right.
an ordained creation by God. And if I can give you an example, a system that has to feed off another system, like the system we're in now, and like this system does too,
Mhm.
is not an ordained system by God. I don't
Yeah.
think,
Uh-oh.
I don't think, but I'm learning as I go. So that idea, okay, could change as I gain more knowledge and wisdom on what those words mean. Okay.
Mhm.
But at the point that we're at, I clearly see there's two different voices speaking here.
Mm.
GOD and GAWD, Global Awareness Wireless Device. It even created a symbol like GOD. It was an apple. They tell you the story that Eve ate the apple. They put an apple on the back of the Global Awareness Wireless Device, God, that you go up every morning when you're supposed to go outside, look at the
Sun
you just
gazing.
look up, just look up and be so grateful and in awe at God.
Gratitude.
And that's not the first thing you reach for this and you go, oh my God, did that happen last night? Now GAWD, because that's the word you're using here. And then you go get your friend and you go, look, and you say, oh my God, two or more are gathered in my name. And here's this altar, this new little mini altar we
That's so
carry
true.
around with the plasma screen that is live, that's sentient in there. That's why Denise gets the beautiful pictures that she can get, because she's having a communication. This is not an evil thing. It's a tool.
Right.
It's a tool.
And
Okay?
like we say about tools,
As you could be used.
Sometimes they're overused.
well, no, it could be used for good or evil. It depends on who's using them.
It's the person. This is like
Yeah.
a hammer. I could either pick up this and do something real mean with it, or pick this up and do something good with it. And save someone's life by calling 911. I mean, we could go
Yeah.
into that, but we're not going there. We're gonna stay real simple, because you know what? If you keep it simple, like children, we are all pretty much on the same thought idea
Mhm.
about it. It's the more complicated, individuated, and then I'm an entrepreneur. I can't create with you. I've got to create by myself. And there we go. And the next thing you know, you got McDonald's and they're everywhere, and who knows what's in it? No one planted an organic garden, because that's really what I really, really would love to see. The planet turn back into an organic garden with greater technology, not these big things, turbines that are spinning around, because that's another program they use to keep us away from really getting the simpleness of it. Give me the garden first.
Put your
That I
hands in
need.
the dirt.
Yeah, give me let's make it first, and then go, oh,
Mhm.
now let's power it with solar. Why does everyone want to come in from the other end, see the finished product, and then do it? Sometimes makes no sense. You can't
It's not
always.
satisfying if you don't do the work to get to where you were at.
Reality that we live in. You can't control those two factors in the God world. They were never intended to, because that's true, organic, beautiful individual creation, like your body and mind. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the other God, GAWD, all you hear about are cyborgs and clones, and they can make you just like you and 10 of you. And how boring is that already? Like, don't bring me back for that. Like, I don't want to be a part of that garden, a garden of clones,
Right.
I mean, come on. So we have, with our learning the discernment and our using this God to tell us about ancient things, because it actually does have that wisdom in there, but you also have to know that this thing could be run and operated by evil people who have the ability to change a letter, like an L into a T, by what's it say, by a tittle or a dot. Well, also ancient scripture said, you know what? If you're one of those people, haha, because you are already held accountable for the fact that if you ever do that, you will be known and stand judged and accounted for tricking the millions of people that you will. That's why it's important who has control of this device. That's
Mhm.
why I watch what Elon Musk is doing. That's why I watch the symbol they're even using, the Twitter, because the little bluebird, That's a program, everybody. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta, I mean, Disney, come on. We gotta really keep our eye open. Some things that sound good aren't, oh, candy, yummy.
Right,
I have no
right.
teeth now at 70. And what the hell? No one said that. But anyway, back
So
to
I heard,
the way we learn here on our show is we just let it flow. And now I'm flowing it right back into where we went with that.
so
And we go,
I was listening to some, I was driving the baby to swimming lessons this morning. And I heard something that was pretty cool. Sorcery is from below and miracles are from above, but they're both magic. It depends on who is putting it in their hands and what they're using it for. And like you have that in you, you know, you already have that God put inside of you, who is sitting inside of you, and you just have to tap into your personal magic to make it happen. And if you want to use it for heavenly purposes, use it. And the evil, I don't know how long that's going to stick around, because I think that's what this whole war is about.
discernment on that though, because you know, I'm not trying to make myself all good.
Right.
Okay? It's silly to me. It's like I need to know when's the right time to have a little bit of positive and a little bit of negative. So, or a lot of positive and a little tiny bit of negative. Say your granddaughter's reaching for a candle and you go, you smack her hand out of the way. Now somebody would go, oh, that's child abuse. And some other smart grandmother would go, you used just the right amount of what you needed so she didn't get burned. And then you teach her lovingly the lesson of fire. You don't call her an idiot and make her
That's
feel
right.
little or any of that. You know what I mean? So this positive and negative thing is only something in 3D. When you go above it, it doesn't, you don't have it there. Like healing is up here. There's no positive and negative. It's not, I mean, if we're going to go up here, I mean, because
Right.
there's really none of this there. It's a place like where the theys are that we've been talking about for years and have never met them because we're them over there. We're the
Or
theys.
here.
Right.
So, yeah.
Gets deep like that. And the reason that that we realize that is because when you realize the allness of the role that you can play at any given moment in time, you choose better roles to come back and be. I came to be love alive in the world. There's a lot of dead love in the world. I'm telling you, I see
I
it.
agree.
They love dead things is what I mean. Inanimate objects.
Right.
Anything,
Materials.
if she even crushed my phone under her foot for some reason, I should be more worried about what just happened here than
Yeah.
that
Than
she
that.
just did that. Because she could have seen something I never saw and saved
And
my life
protected
or
you.
something. Okay. But that's when the person that doesn't understand in that way is infuriated that she just smashed her phone. Now Joyce and them can't be friends anymore, and she goes out, starts a whole Facebook page about how insane she, you know what I mean? It's like the most important place here on planet Earth. You guys have some really strange things. Like I didn't come to planet Earth to do a lot of the things that
Most
everybody
people.
They all
does
do.
here. It's silly to me. Like I don't have time for a lot of it. And a lot of it doesn't make you feel good.
Right.
And if you think it makes you look good, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but when I did go, or I could even go now and sit on a bar stool at a club and probably laugh, cry, be indignant, and all in the same about her that I could stand being there. But you know what? I don't have a right to sit there and judge all what's going on because those people came to have that experience. It's just not
It's
one
not
of
for
us.
us. I've been there, done that.
Me though, I've been there
And
they
realized
judge
I'm not
us.
happy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I kind of went, what am I doing? Like, why do people on planet Earth do this? Like, why do they mimic these kinds of things? Like, how do I learn how to use a rake in the organic garden? Oh, sorry. I keep talking about that place.
You need it. Well,
We're
you
gonna
inside your
build
garden,
one.
or your
This is just me
the pool
planting
looks
seeds.
amazing at your house.
We need a patriot
your
house.
plants.
We need a Patriot house.
I want a farm. I don't care about a house. I want a farm.
Learn.
Oh, we
from
could
our-
build you a few boxes, Tracy, and we'll build them and you have your little 4x4 gardens.
You can come and talk about these kinds of things in a big open barn.
Yeah.
And let our voices be heard and learn how to have a voice again and understand what it means to have a voice. Like just me being brave, being here speaking. Even
It's huge.
we laugh at ourselves because I went, I said that was really.
Well, like, who cares? Huh.
It's really truthful.
Feels good to speak.
All of
The
these
truth.
rights and things that we've been given and have had, and we're all yelling about having, we don't even know how to use them. I have to learn how to use my freedom of speech again.
Right.
And truly, I want to be silly and funny with it because being serious,
Let them do that.
you can still be serious and still laugh. You have to be able to do it. Actually, I think people like George Carlin and the real good comedians were really great teachers.
Yeah.
So, but then there were some that came in and they snuck in bad stuff about comedian. I don't like some of you guys. You talk nasty things and you say bad stuff and it's not nice. And you slap each other across the face and you know who I'm talking about. You know who you are. I don't need to say your name and give you airtime. No.
How cute.
Say hi, everybody. This is Emma, my granddaughter, baby. Doggy.
How old is Emma?
Oh, I think she's like 10. She was just
Oh my
walking.
gosh,
That's I
she
kind of had to
looks
mute
so
myself. So
young. No,
Say
she
hi,
looks very
everybody.
puppyish. Adorable.
yeah, she is. She's adorable.
See?
She
We're getting younger.
Yes,
But-
puppyish.
I'm gonna
Aren't
say it.
you?
Talk about
Yeah.
Tell me about the calendar.
All right, go be good.
Like 2012, was it you? Somebody told me that.
Yep, there she goes.
Okay.
She's adorable.
Puppy.
I like your fuzzy.
Well, if you see in
background.
the room the way it is, you'd really appreciate that I blurred it.
Oh,
it's
I
it's
love
my
it.
son's house, and I haven't gotten to make it to bed yet. But
Oh,
yeah,
you
it's a great place.
Makes you look all soft. I'm gonna
Oh,
have to try.
thanks.
Okay, well, are you finished for today, ladies?
Okay, here, I'll give a
Anything
teaser.
else?
I'll give a teaser. Let me
Oh.
see what else I have in my Hermione
She
bag,
bought her,
because I always.
she bought her
bring
love
my-
bag.
The love bubba.
This is
Close your eyes and just pick out one thing.
Greer, who knows a
Oh.
lot about plasma. She's gonna end up having a top.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Pick something, huh? Did not. even-
Something new.
It's here. It is something new.
There you
So
go.
this is, I gotta put my glasses on. 'cause
That's okay.
If
We
you
gotta
want good
wear 'em.
food, I gotta see the recipe. Sorry. So, this is like, so people tell you like about learning how to hear your own voice and who is that talking in your head. And some people are even afraid of it. Or even to have
Or
your
don't like
own,
it.
or even to have your own individual thought, like a thought that goes against the grain or against what everybody else, but when it comes up inside of you and you hear that voice inside of you so adamantly and you're like, whoa, really? Okay, I better write that down. Just after a good prayer session, because I always talk to God first. And then meditations when I listen, that's when I get quiet. And I always pray first because God says, pray first, Tracy, because you won't be able to meditate if you don't. So I'm noisy first and then to be quiet. And I got this one time because I was listening to people talk about killing your ego or just killing in general. I'm not a killer.
They say ego's not your
I'm just
amigo.
not that. Well, you know what I got when I asked myself? So personally for me, because I have been told, oh, you have an ego. Okay. I check. I need to look at that. Because when you say ego to me, that means, well, here's a few things they told me first. They said that ego can only, I asked, can ego love? And they said ego can only love in 3D because it has conditions. It operates off conditions. It has
Correct.
parameters. Ego does. Okay. That's how it knows itself. Okay. So and I said, ego create fear in you. Okay. And it said, I wrote, and it does every time you are in fear, you are in ego. And the love operating in this vibration is weak because you will doubt. So you'll know it. Okay. You'll know that ego, you're having this conversation back with your good angel, whatever. That's ego. That's ego, not you. that they're working it out. And you're the thing in the middle going, I'm the deciding factor, but I need to hear both of these voices. So let them talk. If you kill one of them, then you only hear, well, you're so good. Oh, I got the like button. No, push it. Man, then you're a narcissistic weirdo and I don't even can't talk to you anymore. So anyway, I hope you have an ego and that you just know how it works. It's edging out God. It's usually you have more of GAWD and less of GOD. So when the ego's more in the house, you're edging God out. It's more of you coming in. Yeah, it's you. It's more of it's your avatar coming in. Like, why don't you just call it that? And everybody wants an avatar. So why don't you want an ego? Like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what they said was that the defining voice that you're going to hear is spirit, and spirit can love in all dimensions because it's unconditional. So spirit's allowed to come down here and see and then help you to make the decision. But really, from the perspective of where spirit is, it's like saying, it's like God watching the football game. What team does he want to win? Both of them. He loves them both, you guys. God's not in the game. That's a co-creation you did. As a matter of fact, he would like it if you wouldn't compete with each other anymore. He's waiting for that. He might like the cheerleaders though.
Brutal fight. No.
But I don't know. But because I don't know about, that's another thing we have to talk about being women, but that's for another day. Hold on, in case I need to. But anyway, write notes to yourself. Like, get up in the morning in your quiet time. I have a cup of coffee with God every morning. Every morning. He loves it. She loves it. So
I love it.
Me too.
yeah. Well, we love it.
The
you know?
universe loves it.
I'm in there. So let's see. Spirit, no fear. There's no fear when you're in spirit. Okay. So everybody with their fearlessness and no fear. It's not you. It's not you, Magoo. You're an ego. It's like, it's because spirit stepped in. You're not fearful there. Okay. So it leads you out of ego and a fear reality. So follow spirit when it shows up because it's going to show you the way out, man. It is your intuition on.
Always.
Just go grab it, go with it. Okay. And why do you want to listen to spirit and get that feeling? And spirit has motion. It's going to want to make you move, where the other ego and fear, you'll
Keep you stuck.
You'll get stuck for a second. You'll just all of a sudden go, what do I do? You can't even go, what do I do? You just do. That's spirit. It just knows. And it says that it'll get you out of fear as soon as possible. Your choices are limited in this vibration of reality. So you have like I just said, you just have, just like when you get that feeling, move, just
do it.
move. It doesn't matter what it's the right thing. It's the force and not that Star Wars bullshit that they took from spirit and then made it this dark and light war. Spirit would never fight against itself. Spirit never goes against itself. It doesn't. God never goes against itself. God wins always. That's what that means. God wins. Okay. So always just, anyway. So that's how powerful you can be for yourself. Okay. This is the first time I've shared this with anyone, because all I'm hoping you'll take away from this is what still sticks with me. And I probably wrote this maybe, I don't know, at least 8 years ago. That fire that I still feel, that message
That's igniting within her.
You know what I mean? That now I shared it now. Like I'll probably be really good and happy all day because of that.
Correct.
That's fun.
So I'll leave on this with DJT. That seek the gift and all that happens and you'll find peace from within. We'll see you next week. Peace out.
Peace
Be
out.
the change.
I love you guys.